Most e-commerce founders make this one massive mistake with their email marketing, and I get it. You didn't go to school to be a marketer, but here you are. You got a Shopify brand, you're selling online, and all you can do is think, how can I sell more? Does that sound familiar? So you sit down to put together some emails and crickets. So you do what you've always done to get more sales. Just send out a discount code and boom, more sales. But do that too much and it stops working. If that's you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Good email marketing, that stuff that drives consistent sales like an ATM. It isn't just blasting out a discount code every week. What if I told you I built an AI email system that automates the hardest part of sending emails, gets 67% open rates, and generates an average of $2,835 per email. And you can run it in 2 hours a month. That's the power of what I call the $100 million brain behind my email system. And if you don't know me, my name is Steve Merrill. I've sold over $60 million online and spent over $5 million on Facebook ads. And for the last 20 years, I've been obsessed with e-commerce growth. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how this system works. But before I do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button below. It helps other Shopify founders like you make more money. So in this video, you're going to see two very specific things. Number one, the AI system I built that plans and writes your email campaigns for you. And number two, the AI system that scores and improves every single email before it gets sent out. And now here's the kicker. At the end, I'm going to give you free access to my AI email scoring system so you can test your emails on your own. So stick around because you're going to want that. All right, so let's start with the first piece, email planning. Now, if you've ever sat down and said, I'm going to plan out some emails and you have a hard time coming up with what you're going to say in those emails, then this piece is for you. It's happened to me probably 100 times. I sit down and say, what am I going to say? Complete writer's block. So I default to the thing that I know is going to generate some sales. I'm just going to send out a sale email. I'm going to discount some stuff, send out a discount code. Problem is, there's a limit to that. You can only do it so often. So how do we actually generate content that's going to get people engaged, want to open the email, and buy at the same time? That's what this tool is all about. So you see the interface here with the AI tool already loaded in. Step one, this has already happened behind the scenes. I've already preloaded this AI tool with all the information it needs about my brand, who my customer avatar is, the website, the products, and the way people actually buy. So the first step is I'm just going to come in here and say, let's plan some emails. It's going to kick back and say, all right, cool. And I've already preloaded it with some of the brands that I work with here because it already has all the information about the brand. So which brand am I going to actually plan emails for this month? So let's say we're going to plan emails for 1% Fitness. And it already knows. So it says, hey, I need to have a month that we're going to plan emails for. So we're going to say, let's plan it for October. So what's going to happen behind the scenes here is it's going to go and look for all of the holidays and relevant dates that this brand might need in order to send out timely, seasonal, and holiday specific emails that are actually going to get engagement. You can also see here it spits out the information about the brand itself. So it has all this stuff in place and it says, cool, are we ready to analyze the historical performance for this brand so I can see what works and what doesn't work and do more of what works? So right now behind the scenes, it's analyzing all the email performance in the past for this brand that we've sent emails for. It's comparing those against what's coming up in the future for this brand. Calendar, holidays, all the things that might be seasonal relevant for this brand. It's pulled top performing emails that have worked in the past. And one big caveat here is I want to eliminate any sale emails that we've sent out in the past. Naturally, those are going to have high open rates, they're going to have high engagement, and they're going to drive a lot of conversion. So we want to get out of sending sale emails. So I've told it, don't evaluate any sale emails with your analysis. So you can see very specifically here, which emails are actually performing best: transactional, transformational and results, simple actions, menu highlights, family, health framing, and ease and convenience. And what do we want to avoid? Emails relying on only X dollars per meal or discounts. They always perform, but we don't want any price-based strategy within our email content. And then we get into the cool stuff here. And this is where it helps with all of that writer's block or problems that you guys have in creating email content. So what it's doing here is it's spitting out. It first took 10 key overreaching topics for our brand that align with the customer, the voice, and the messaging that we want to deliver. Number two, it then creates 10 subtopics underneath each one of these points that says, hey, these are probably going to be really engaging topics for your brand. In just a matter of minutes here, I've gone from starting from scratch to having 100 email topics that I could send for this brand. So all I'm going to do with this list is I'm going to skim through and it's going to ask me here, which ones do you think are going to perform the best? So I could ask ChatGPT, which ones do you think are going to perform the best? Or I can select them myself. In this case, Let's make it easy, and we'll have the AI system do it for us. So it's taken each one of these topics and said, you know what, these are the ones that I think are going to perform the best and align with your seasonal theme. So now we've got 18 email campaigns, and you can see by the time in this video, it's only been a couple of minutes. So I'm already miles ahead. When I used to send emails for my brand years ago, I had one person on my team that was doing nothing but creating the topics, doing research on past emails that we sent, trying to figure out which one is going to perform the best, analyzing send times, and it was their full-time job. And this person was paid pretty well. Output-wise, they were creating about one email a day in combination with all this other analysis that they were doing. We've already gotten to that point, and it's been just a couple minutes in. So then I've programmed this AI tool to take all these ideas and automatically insert them into my task management system, which I use monday.com. So are we ready to actually submit these? We're going to say yes. So I'm just going to hit confirm here so it can actually submit these email content ideas. What's going on behind the scenes is it's submitting these to my task management system. And I'm going to show you that in just a second. So let's take a look at what the output looks like for each one of these. This is a creative brief that I can then send to my email designer that goes from top to bottom, everything they need to know to create this email content. What is the purpose of the email? The subject line options, why these subject lines work, email content summary, and step by step here, exactly what should be included within every single email that they create. Now, once the email design comes back, we move to the second piece. This is my AI scoring tool. Now, this AI evaluates emails on over 50 different points, everything from copywriting, layout, clarity of the call to action, brand tone, deliverability, and even factors like spam trigger words. So let me show you exactly how that works. I'm going to take an actual email that one of my designers put together for me, and we're going to score it. So this is the exact email creative brief that I just showed you. All I did was I sent this to my designer and I said, you know what, let's create this email. And honestly, I didn't even touch that because once it was created in my task management system, it sent them a notification, says, hey, this is ready to go. Day later, they sent me this. So I upload the email itself, and behind the scenes, it's using all of my proprietary email grading system that then evaluates that entire email from top to bottom on what works. First, the idea. 4 out of 5, and it's aligning it with the brand itself. Copy, 3 out of 5. Subject line, preview text. So I didn't submit either one of those. It's giving it a lower score there. The design, 4 out of 5. Layout's clear, CTA above the fold, icons at the bottom are strong, and so on. Good score, 11 out of 5. Now, if I put in the subject line and preview text, it would have been even better. We'd probably be a 14 or 15 out of 15. Exact fixes to make. Number one, rewrite the subject line just like I talked about. It's going to want a subject line in there so it gets a better score. It gives you an example in there. Here's exactly what to put in there. We could add a testimonial block or proof block showing, hey, here's an actual quote from somebody that used this solution that you're showing in the email. Upgrade visuals, maybe show some lifestyles, rework CTA and copy, layer in emotion, things like confidence, energy, emotional connection to the content within the email itself. And then it's going to tell you, hey, do you want me to actually write this for you so you can see what it looks like? And then I can say yes here, and then it's going to give me specific recommendations on actually what to fix based on the design that I already uploaded. So here's some subject line options. Here's a preview text. Here's a rewrite of the hero copy. All the things that said it needed improvement in that I can then go ahead and apply right away. So that's it. No wasted time, no creative blocks, no bad sins slipping through, and just a system that keeps learning week after week. So what kind of results is this actually driving? I wanted to see what would happen when I put this system in action. Now, I've been using this for over a year now, but let me show you how I put this in place for me and my brand. That creative brief I showed you, I took it over to Fiverr and I wanted to find an entry-level designer. I didn't want to find the most expensive one or the most experienced person because I really wanted to test this system out. Because if somebody's a really good email designer, they're going to be able to take a topic and brand information and just spit out a really good on-point email. So I sent them this creative brief. I just provided some strategic brand guidelines and things like logos and colors. And before they sent me the design, I had them run it through my AI email grader on their own just to make it perfect before it even came back to me. And in 24 hours, I got this design back, completely aligned with the brand, has everything in the email that it talks about in the creative brief, and it's on point. Now you tell me, how good does this email look? And well, how well do you think it performed? So here's the actual results. 71% open rate, $3,700 in revenue from this email. And this one took less than 5 minutes of my time. Right now, this system's sending about 20 emails per week across all of my clients. And we have an average open rate of over 67% and generating $2,800 in revenue per email sent. The crazy part is I only spend about 2 hours per week managing the whole process. To put that in perspective, a traditional team like I used to have would need a strategist, a copywriter, a designer, and a project manager just to pull this off. And honestly, they'd still probably lose because AI isn't just efficient. It's consistently learning from past performance, and that's something that no human team out there can replicate at scale. So if you want to test this system out for yourself, I'm giving away the AI email scoring system completely free. So run your next email campaign through it and see exactly what's holding you back and how to fix it. The link, it's just down in the description. So grab it, try it on your next campaign, and watch what happens to your results. So before I go, do me a favor and hit that like button below, subscribe to my channel. It helps other Shopify founders like you make more money.